What's up, YouTube, and welcome to
BANDLE CITY YASUOOO! BANDLE CITY YASUOOO, dude! Holy sh!
That's right, the meme dream has finally come true. Extatio built a Yasuo deck that's actually somewhat competitive, brought it to a tournament, and performed fairly well in the recent Giant Slayer fight night this weekend. The idea here is to build a deck that is somewhat close to Ahri Kennen, but has a lot more control capabilities. And Yasuo actually does come in quite handy there, because we can stall and fend off our opponent forever, right? We have a million stuns, we have recalls. What this archetype really lacks sometimes is effective removal. Of course, Kennen does a little bit, but Yasuo just puts out higher damage numbers more consistently, and is therefore much more threatening to your opponent's mid-range units, as well as stuff like their Ahri or their dancing droplets and so on, because every time you do stun them or try to recall them, your opponent also has to worry about permanently losing the unit. And now, while Yasuo definitely does have his advantages, also some very neat synergy with the whole recall package. Of course, he levels fairly quickly in this deck. This also comes at a downside, the biggest thing being we're not playing King Wayfinder, we're not going for Ionia Allegiance. That means two things. One, we don't quite have that power spike around turn 4, so we are a bit slower as a deck and grindier. And the second thing is we don't quite have that consistent access to our draw, because the droplet doesn't get found quite as often. And those are significant downsides, but we can kind of compensate with other value tools. For example, Concussive is completely insane in this deck, such a great flexible card. And a lot of spells from Concussive can be very useful. For example, defensive options like Recall, Nopeify, Retreat, Quicken, or removal things like Pokestick, Group Shot, or combo tricks like Sonic Wave, Charm, even Flame Spitter or Purpleberry Shake can come in quite handy. Furthermore, we can play Pokesticks, which are of course really neat to have in those Ahri mirrors. And we can go for some more tech choices. Not quite sure about the ratios here of Quicken and Event Horizon especially. Of course, insane if it does get pulled off, but it is not the most consistent card and can be somewhat hard to set up. Another merit here, I'm not 100% sure on this card yet, but we can play Otterpus in the 1-drop slot. I was considering playing the Mourned instead, just to have a bit nicer elusive chains with Ahri. Also helps accelerate the level up on both of these champions. But I do think Otterpus has some definite advantages as well, and that is making up for the tempo loss that we have by not playing King Wayfinder, because you don't lose mana if you play Otterpus, and if you prank one of your opponent's spells, you also expend 1 mana to make them cost 2 mana, therefore also winning out in a net mana trade. Otterpus is also just a really good target for Navori Conspirator or Ahri to recall to the hand because of this mana efficiency and utility it provides. Apart from that, the deck is fairly similar to Ahri Kennen. It does often close out games through the elusive game plan through an Ahri chain, but this list is much more value and control oriented. Sai'nen will make sure we don't really run out of steam, and well, we can just outgrind our opponent by removing their units with Yasuo piece by piece, by always stopping scary attacks, stopping scary spells with denies and notifies. And even if the board gets completely out of control, we have a reset button in Singular Will. Doesn't happen too often, but if this card goes off with a leveled Yasuo on the field, it can be absolutely beautiful. And of course, quite a few other cards also benefit from being recalled, like Droplet, Otterpus, Concussive. Therefore, definitely a spicy list to play. I'll be quite honest though, the deck is pretty hard to play and the games take pretty long. Nonetheless, I did manage to hit Masters with Yasuo. How often do you get the chance to play a somewhat competitive Yasuo deck? So for all of you control and combo players out there, this is definitely an interesting list to try.
BANDLE CITY YASUOOO! BANDLE CITY YASUOOO, dude!
This is gonna be an interesting one, Lurk. But I mean, the stuns are gonna be so good against Rek'Sai. Probably even keep double Droplet. Yasuo could definitely be kept. Would be very greedy. Single Droplet's probably enough. I mean, Droplets are not really blocking anything. Like, Otterpus I'd be happy to block with. That's why I was considering playing it. It's more mana efficient. Ooh, these are all interesting. Sonic Wave's really good with Yasuo. I think we have enough recoils. I think we want some defensive or like counter-aggressive options. Also, Quicken is, at some point in the near future, Quicken is not going to work on my opponent's units anymore, since they all outgrow the Quicken. Okay, Rek'Sai on top. I probably should have gone for the auto repose on turn 1 though.
Wild hearts should run free.
It's not safe.
Okay, definitely banking the spell mana here. Oof. It's brutal. Palm is gonna be better later on. Really just play Yasuo, right? I mean, this blocks here. This blocks here. Oh, then I can't play Pokestick though. Okay, so Yasuo and Sonic Wave next turn ideally. So then I want to play Droplet, Conspirator, Yasuo next turn maybe. Gonna try to hit that from below next round with a prank. Wait, does that from below count as a Pyke? Can you prank it? I'm not even sure. Maybe you can't. In that case, I maybe shouldn't have pranked, so I can still Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. Might have been a bit of a mistake on my end. How do we play this? I can't let all of these lurkers survive. I think I want to take one out. Hope to top deck something useful. I mean, it's okay. Our opponent's about to run out of value. We know this is a Rek'Sai. Ooh. Well, that was a pretty good top deck for our opponent. Do we have to sack Ahri is basically the question. We could. She doesn't do a lot right now. She would help us draw. Taking this out is also, like, there's definitely merit to it. think I gotta do it and hope to high roll a bit. So now we go Droplet probably into Seedling Conspirator. Pokey stick in hand, I think we just want to block this. We go Droplet, Conspirator Droplet. Okay, so we can stun Rek'Sai immediately next turn, but that on its own is not quite enough. Still, well, we can quicken whatever Pyke tries to strike. It's actually fine. The issue is our opponent gets a pack called a pack from the second Rek'Sai they hold. Wait, no, they don't only hold one, right? There was a main deck called a pack getting the Rek'Sai they had earlier on top of the deck. Well, then maybe it's winnable. Basically, we kind of need this to not get overwhelmed. That would be great. What, another Snapjaw? Not quite sure what the contemplation here is. Oh, Palm is really good. Palm was an amazing find. Might have been the best top deck we could have gotten. Very good chances of this not flipping, basically. Not getting overwhelmed fearsome. So we do this and we quicken whatever Pyke tries to hit. Just hope this isn't another Lurker. What could this card be? Bone Skewer, maybe? Wait, my opponent just whiffed Lurk.
Your attack is obvious.
Nice, okay. Okay, Yasuo is such a good find here as well. So that makes it less likely this is a Bone Skewer. Maybe it's like Jawfish. The Seedling timing was really good as well. We get another blocker next round. But yeah, I think from this point on out, we just take over, to be honest. Probably just let this go through, replay the other one. Not much else for us to be done here. Oh, I should have checked in which order they strike to prevent a Pyke level up.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
Okay, again, we want this to not get overwhelmed, but even if it does, like, I think we're fine. At this point, we're looking fairly stable. It's pretty solid. That was the whiffed Lurk earlier on. So we want to find lethal next round.
I alone decide my fate.
Could use Twin to remove this. It's actually pretty good. In that case, there is a high chance my opponent also doesn't win on their next attack. We have deny for random death from below or for a skewer. Yeah, I think we got full control of the game now. Just keeping the my mana open just in case. Nah, mana efficiency, let's do this. Okay, Snapjaw incoming. Like, I'm pretty sure Death from Below would have just been played mid-combat. 5 out of 6.
Do you still haven't answered that question?
I see every move.
I don't know about this because if I leave the guy alive, he also turns into a concussive palm, right? Once I recall him with Ahri.
As it rules you.
Probably even recall Sai'nen, to be honest.
Hear your heartbeat.
Oh, it's exact lethal, isn't it? We got 3 hits through a total.
It's over.
Let's go.
Now I hunt.
I didn't even see it. I just wanted to recall Sai'nen because we had hand space and we had enough blockers on the board, but hey, we'll also just take the finish here. This deck is surprisingly complex to play even if you already know Ahri Kennen. It's quite different. Ooh, Viktor Zilean. Someone's bringing the spice. No idea what we're running into. Like, actually none. Guess we keep Yasuo. Don't really want to risk losing the droplets.
If it's made of sand, I can ride.
It's fine. Now the droplet can soak up the roiling sands and Ahri can recall it. Yeah, sometimes patience is really, really worth it.
The forest
An answer for beam.
like that.
Okay, that's pretty good for us. Okay, Xenotype. Probably won't get a better Poke Stick. Let's just see what we draw immediately. I think we take 5 here. Play Yasuo. Could also chill out for a second, see what our opponent does first. I'm a bit scared of Thermal Beam if I drop Yasuo. So maybe just the little stuff here.
What do you make of that? I'm not sure.
Tempest isn't too bad as well if we already have Yasuo in hand.
Death is like the wind, always by my side. With utmost efficiency. I face my fate. Your turn.
Excuse us.
Victor's Death Ray. Okay, so this actually kills a Victor. I could just twin and basically tell my opponent, okay, I want you to shuffle Death Rays into your deck. But I actually think Death Rays are annoying because they force me to expend resources to protect my units. And I mean, we're picking off a Victor.
Too slow.
Brilliant design. New materials, new improvements.
Elusive. Okay. No Victor is actually a little menace that requires to be dealt with.
Genius.
Fated. I assume my opponent doesn't really have self-targeting stuff. If this swings, I'd probably go offensive twin, try to clear out Victor.
What does it mean?
Could sacrifice both droplets, I wouldn't really mind. Other options is going for stuns. Nah, I leave that droplet alive. Throw Conchologist away instead. I'm surprised by the Victor attack here, I'll be honest. Victor has to be the main win condition for our opponent here. Oh, it's secure. Interesting. Okay, okay. Opponent's bringing the spice. Maybe I open up with Palm. But... yeah, I can't really allow my opponent to get passes too easily. So it's a Xenotype Korean Sump Worker deck. That is actually amazing. I love that idea. I'm not sure if you have enough copy effects though. I guess you do have a fair amount of predict. Okay, this thing definitely needs to die. Charm.
Be still. 2 steps into moonlight.
But if this attack goes through, I don't think our opponent can do much anymore. Kinda grinding them out of resources. Of course, they can draw some insanely small cards. But stats don't really help against a deck that's centered around stunts and recalls.
I think we have something on that case.
You think the deck is quite heavy? Okay. Okay, it does play a fair amount of units though. So the buffs will fairly often whiff the Sump Workers. But it's a very cute concept, a very interesting one. I guess drop borders are also decent alternative targets. Flame Spitter on Ahri is kind of hilarious. Like, just the image in my head is ridiculous. Ahri with his Flame Spitter. Top 10 things that would never happen ever. I want to keep the droplets alive.
Just as I suspected.
I see every move. Persistence is key.
So I can set up the lethal for next turn.
Sup, Bo?
My search is over. Now I hunt.
Leveling Ahri pre-combat means we get another elusive hit in.
Too slow.
Seedling ain't bad. Drop border won't save you. I guess my opponent can find a crystal or might already have one.
Rely on you to keep us safe.
Then it's still just offensive Twin Disciplines on Ahri. Could buff them out of crystal range actually. Sai'nen into Seedling. This combo is just so nasty, it's crazy.
I will keep you safe.
Purpose. Something's not dull.
Yeah, GG. Starting to get the hang of the deck.
One step closer to redemption.
Elise, Jayce. So this should be like Sentinels probably. Twin could be good. Just to get some fearsome blockers.
Wondrous discoveries await below.
think we want to trade these. So our opponent doesn't have slay targets.
To the world below. Oh dear. Sleep is for the guiltless.
Wondering how controlly my opponent's deck is. Thermo beam. Okay.
Oh, I would love to.
Could be a Ledros deck.
It never gets any lighter. Let me know if you still want them science lessons, Jayce.
Will do, Axel.
For 5. Could just go for a twin. Makes him more susceptible to Mystic shots later on though. Or other types of removal. I think I'd rather keep him healthy.
I go where the road takes me.
Very kind of you to grace us with your presence, milady.
That's a prime group shot target.
Let's get started.
Yes, my lord.
Your attack is obvious.
I almost think the trade is... Yeah, it is really good. Let's lock this in for now. See how our opponent responds. Vengeance would be natural. Oh, wow. Okay. And we get an amazing open attack. On those Sai'nen development is also good. Okay, Sai'nen it is. Should have maybe pranked earlier on. Before my opponent played Piercing Darkness. Okay. How much mana do we need for next turn? I think I can play one prank. Look for Ledros. Okay, now it gets interesting. I do want to recall Sai'nen with Homecoming, ideally.
Industry and vision. The twin pillars are built over.
It's probably worth playing Homecoming on. Costs my opponent a lot of mana. Taking 3 damage either way.
Maybe I do have a future. Follow the wind. Watch your back.
Ooh, this might come in handy. After our opponent plays Acceleration Gate, we can play Singular Will. So I guess we want to be proactive this turn. Is it worth denying Dawning Shadow? Probably. Ahri doesn't do much right now. Okay. Wait. That means another Jayce in hand, right? So then there's just one random card left, which we see right now. Thermal Beam? Okay, I don't care too much for this Shock Blast, to be honest. It's a bit of a random one.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
Right. Hasagi.
Some things never.
Want to bait my opponent into blocking with elbows. Nice. I feel like my opponent is starting to play sloppily.
Sai'nen. Too slow.
Alright. Maybe Singular Will next turn, let's see. But that would be a sad Acceleration Gate.
Nothing beats field testing.
Just Quicken if he pulls Ahri.
Interesting use of tech.
Not too shabby. Right, it is Jayce's Shock Blast and my opponent can redraw it. That actually sucks for me.
I can.
Protecting Yasuo is really expensive. Jayce can carry this game. But Ahri is actually really close to just finishing. Could let this Ahri die. Replay the other one. I think I prefer Sai'nen here. Then again, I kind of need the open attack lethal, right? So I think I just want to... I can play Ahri, sack her. Replay the second one, open attack with Twin Disciplines, should be lethal. Like knowing my opponent only has random cards in hand, and I have a deny to protect the chain from Mystic Shots or something like that. Jayce dies on the block anyway. I don't think there's an upside to Charming first.
Step aside.
Was the top deck card?
Show me that again.
Oh, of course you double cast Vengeance. Oh no. Forgot about that completely. Ah, good top deck though, dear mister. Okay, I'm actually unironically in trouble. Well, not quite with a singular will in hand. My opponent probably greets Pharos into Acceleration Gate here. Or maybe they don't, which is also fine. Well, that just looks like a prime freaking singular will. Yeah, I think I want to keep Sai'nen on board. If I, like, since I already have Seedling in hand. Yeah, my opponent has tons of value in hand, but no mana to play it. Stunning Shadow 7, so just one unknown card left in hand. I'd be brave and just play Ahri here.
My search is over. Now I hunt. Bright eyes in the night. Enchanting.
Let's put lethal on the board. Nopeify and Deny this should now be lethal for sure though. No Jayce to double or triple cast stuff. One card gets overdrawn. Throw. Alright. That was grindy, but we got there in the end. Oh, that was a struggle.
Naturally.
Oh, we did it! With Yasuo. We made so many people fail the Yasuo test. That's actually amazing. Who said Yasuo is a meme? Come on.